Yo, 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 big dear father energy, man. It's your boy Ricky Rock. And we live, man. Happy, what's today? Tuesday. Just tapping in. We got a special guest today. NBA vet, Damien Wilkins, the son of former NBA player Gerald Wilkins and nephew of Dominique Wilkins. I was a huge Dominique Wilkins fan growing up. So I'm super excited today, man. Check out the merch, man. If you don't know, dearfathers.com. Get the merch, the hat. I did different orange. Actually, the hat about to drop soon. So if you want the hat drops soon. They got the black, the orange. You know, I got the exclusive. I had the bribe to get this. So I'm excited about that, man. I did a different shirt, man. Dearfathers.com. Good night from Brazil. Big Brazil energy, man. I appreciate you tapping in international with the kid. Like I said, we got Damien Wilkins on today to talk about his NBA journey, him balancing fatherhood, and now he has a super dope role over at Overtime. And that's it, what it is, man. Big dear father energy today. Just tapping in. My name is Ricky Rock. Ricky Rock Live, my IG. Tap in with me, man. I'm a father, husband. I do a little bit of everything, man. So I'm excited about today. Big shout out to Brad, Jesse, Lamar, AJ, Steve, just the whole Dear Father squad, man. We are very passionate about bringing y'all dope fatherhood content. What up, Rob? If you need a haircut, man, if you in the loop, man, Rob the brand, man, check them out, man. But if you are not too familiar with Dear Fathers, man, we are passionate about telling the stories of Black fatherhood through a variety of different mediums. We got Books and Bourbon, our monthly book club every last Sunday. I'm lying, every second Wednesday. Straight Mental is our mental health. Our virtual mental health is every last Sunday of the month. We got Dads and Deliveries. We got the Dear Father podcast. Literally every aspect of fatherhood we trying to cover because it is super important. So big love to Jesse, Lamar, Brad, the whole squad, AJ, Steve. Yeah, man. We in this thing, man. Big Dear Father energy. We got Damien Wilkins on the day. I'm waiting for him to tap in. We finna get it popping. The merch. Dearfathers.com exclusive. I dad different. You can pick that up right now. This hat gonna drop soon. So yeah, man. I love you too. Mi amor. Mi hablé español un poquito. Más o menos. Y'all probably really think I speak Spanish, but I took Spanish 2 in high school, so I know a little sham sound. What up, everybody, man? Let me know where you're from, where you tapping in from. What country you in, what city you in. We already got Brazil in here. That's dope. I would love to go to Brazil. I don't know what your budget looking like, Rose, but you want to fly the kid out? We in that thing. What up, AJ? We just waiting on my brother Damien to tap in. Let me real quick get this popping. Bay Area. Yada I mean. Big Bay Area energy. There he is. My brother. D Wilt. I requested you, bro. Oh, there he is. My
I'm in.
brother.
Yo,
How you doing, King?
I'm great, family. How you?
I'm blessed, man. What's that picture behind you?
It's just a horse, man. You know what I mean?
All right,
Some of the, strong- some of the strongest creatures on on Earth, bro.
it just look real artistic, you know.
Uh,
How you doing today, my brother?
man, I'm blessed, bro. I'm blessed. How you?
I'm great, man. I appreciate you for joining us today, man. I know you got just a plethora of wisdom and just life experiences, man. And I want to say, first of all, I appreciate you for being a Black father you are,
Man,
and we need more of this. So, man, thank you.
I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. You know, it ain't easy, man. It ain't easy being a dad out here, bro. But you know, we do what we got to do.
It ain't easy, man. It's not easy, man. Well, I guess let's start. What is one of the hardest parts about being a father to you?
Uh, I got this complex
Mm-hmm.
about fatherhood for me personally, where I tend to my kids, man, like I never want them to look at me, uh, look down on me, or to look at me and be ashamed, or to,
Mm,
man, like that's my dad. Like I never want to let them down. Um,
mm,
and it's one of those things where I just try as hard as I can to be present for them at all,
right.
no matter what I have going on. Like for so many years, I traveled and I was away from them.
Mm,
So the time I get to spend with them now, even like one of the reasons why I didn't even, try to pursue another year plan after 2017 is because I just felt like my son in particular, my oldest son, his name is Jaden. I just felt like he needed me. I
mm.
felt like my middle son, his name is Caleb. I felt like he needed me,
Wow.
and it wasn't anything that they said. It was more or less just as my career kind of went, kept going on. The more and more I left, the more and more I felt the disappointment in them. Like I could, damn, like you leaving again, like, and it just got to a point where like I couldn't see that again.
Mm,
Like I couldn't feel that again, and I was like, this has got to be more important to me than that. And
that's powerful.
and I just took that, and built great relationships with them. I continue to build great relationships with my kids every day. I just, like I said, I just try to be present, man. And when you're working, when you're busy, when you're trying to do the right things, right? Like it sometimes get overwhelming and difficult to do those things. But
Mm,
man, like I think when your intentions are earnest and pure about being a father and just showing them all the things and teaching them all the things that was never taught to me or shown to me, man, I love it. Like I actually love being a dad, man. I love everything that comes with it.
that's cool, man. I can tell you seem just when you start talking about your kids, like you
Yeah.
you lit up, and that was a selfless act, man. Choosing fatherhood over your career that you had, for a, quite a while. You had a very
Um,
extensive NBA career, and I mean, I guess NBA was kind of in your DNA. Your
yeah.
father, Gerald Wilkins, Dominique Wilkins, your uncle.
Yeah.
Um, well, I guess what kind of role did they play in your journey from McDonald young hooper, McDonald All American to your long career?
Oh man. I'd be lying if I said that my dad didn't play a role in that. Um, my dad was a hard worker throughout his career. He was known for that. And he just kind of instilled those things into me. Just to just constantly be persistent and go after everything that you want. And I wanted to be a pro, so I went after it. He got in the gym with me, pushed me, and oftentimes it's tough because being the role of your coach and your dad,
Right.
that's a fine line, and that dynamic is very difficult. And I'm learning that now as a father with my sons. Like
Mm,
they like to hoop, so I'm always in the gym with them, but I'm always looking for other ways that they could be coached by other people because I'd rather you tune me out on the basketball court than tune me out at home.
in real life. Right. Right. Right.
Home,
Right.
I'm gonna have a problem with you.
Yeah.
So my dad, he just, he always, I would say, got like the most and the best out of me, man, because he was so persistent in helping me become who I wanted to become. And um, and then we had our struggles. My dad, in the spirit of transparency, my dad suffers from bipolar disorder.
Mm,
And for the past 13 years, it's been a really, really, really tough thing to deal with. My dad and I, our relationship has been estranged for quite a while. It's been super topsy turvy because of that. And it's not because he actually suffers from bipolar. It's just because of his unwillingness to get the help that he he needs for it. So I don't often share that all the time, but I'm learning to be vulnerable because I think vulnerability is a way of strengthening yourself.
For
Um,
sure.
and I've just learned that over the past year, to be honest with you. I'm 41 years old, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I never really been transparent, and I've never really been open about those things. But it's like lifting weights, right? The more you suffer through a pain, the stronger you get. So, suffering through that relationship, the pain of not having my dad witness some of my best years now, my second act, if you will, um,
Mm.
tough.
Right.
But that also motivates me because it's a gift and a curse to be the best dad that I could be to my children.
Mm.
Um, and I understand the challenges that he faces, and it's not something that, um, like I said, I look at it. I'm ashamed of him for it or upset at him for that. It's more or less the unwillingness to get the help, the ego behind not getting the help, and that too is probably a part of the problem.
For sure.
In terms of my uncle is great. Obviously, he's an icon, a Hall of Famer, and everyone in the city of Atlanta here loves him to death, and as they should, and across the globe,
For
he's
sure.
well known. Um, but quite honestly, I've never been in the gym with my uncle.
Mm.
Um, I've never been in the gym with him. As a matter of fact, you know what? I take that back. I've been in the gym with him one time in my entire life.
Mm.
A lot of people don't believe that when I tell them that. I've actually worked out with my uncle one time in my entire life. So,
Wow.
people often get the misconception, and I was just talking to a coworker today about this, that they look at my family and my uncle and my dad, my uncle, and they just think like I just grew up in the NBA in this household with silver spoons everywhere, and that's like the furthest thing from the truth. Like,
Right. You worked. You
yeah,
worked. Sound like.
I lived with my mom. My dad and my mom had me at a very young age, at 16, and my dad moved away, um, to pursue his career and to follow my uncle, here to Atlanta, and I was in North Carolina with my mom living in the projects till I was 14 years old. And I didn't even move in or get to really know my dad until, um, I was like 15. Like,
Mm.
we developed the relationship. Like, I was like, yeah, like 13, 14 when we really got to know each other. So prior to that, like, it was an everyday struggle for me that I didn't understand why. Like, I was surrounded by poverty-stricken people, and I was surrounded by a bunch of avenues and roads that led to nowhere, that people were always going down, and you don't make it out like of that. And I was just telling my sons the other day, I was having a conversation with them the other night, and I was like, man, listen, I don't know how the hell I made it to the NBA. Like, I can't tell you how. Like, and for that reason, no one can tell me God isn't real.
Mm.
No one can tell me that and make me believe that, like, because it had to be a higher power that said, no, I want you to do this. And yeah, man. So I'm super fortunate and blessed and super appreciative of the life that I've been given, places I've gone, people I've met, things I've done, and even more so now to transition out of the game the way I have.
Yeah.
It's just been like, man, like, and I got friends that tell me all the time. My friend Jermaine, like, that's my partner. I think he's on the live right now. Shout out.
Mm-hmm. So,
Um, he tells me all the time, like, bro, like, you gotta write a book, man. Like,
bro, so somebody just said you made it so you can share your story. Like, I mean, 'cause what you said, like from the outside looking in, you would think you in the gym
yeah,
with Dominique and like, but from what it sounds like, you
yeah,
literally had the work ethic. That was the catalyst, and God, and
yeah.
allowed you to, fulfill your dreams.
Yeah, like he tell me that all the time. He like, bro, you gotta share this, and I just never do because, you know, um, it's a song that Drake had out like a while. I don't know what album it was on, but he said a line and he was like, yo, like, I'll share more of my story, but you wouldn't believe it. And it's
Mm,
like that's the fear behind me wanting to write that book because I feel like people would look at it as fiction. Like they wouldn't they would have to read it several times to actually like believe it and get the emotional,
Mm.
you know what I mean? Like that part,
Right.
because you can't read a story like mine and not feel it. You feel me? Like you gotta
Right.
feel that. And all of those things that I went through, all of the ups, the downs, the peaks, the valleys, like I tell people this all the time. I would not go back and change it at all. Like I wouldn't make my ride any easier if I can go back and do it again. Like I wouldn't make it any easier. There's some mistakes I've made, obviously, that we all have.
Yeah.
Just, as a man in relationships, things of that nature that I wouldn't repeat. However, like in terms of the overall story, I wouldn't change that because I wouldn't have the strength that I have now if if I did go
Yeah.
change anything, right?
Yeah.
So it's just been a heck of a ride, bro. And I sit up every morning, man, when I wake up and I just reflect on it all and just like the many, many blessings. Like I got friends all over the globe, bro. Like I've made friends with so many people. I've been to so many places. I've tried to,
You played in Beijing, Puerto Rico,
yeah,
Venezuela. I mean,
yeah, man.
you play all over, man. And I want to say I appreciate your transparency, um, because I feel like that really helped. I see people on the chat that talk about mental health, that and even at the Fathers we have a book club and we have a virtual mental health series every month because we need these platforms so men, especially black men, can share their stories and learn from each other, because a lot of times we don't think the other people are going through. We think it's just us, but a lot of times the guy next to you is going through something very similar. But until we communicate, so I want to say I really appreciate your transparency, man. Because
Yeah, like
I mean,
I just don't know how to be. I don't know how to, especially like on a platform like this. I don't know how to not tell that story. I don't know how to not give context to everything. You know,
right,
like
right,
because it's only fair, especially for people who don't know you. Um,
right,
and you're right. Like so many people don't talk about those things that go on because of in our community we tend to grow up like if you cry you're weak.
yeah,
Be a big boy. And like, no, it's okay to be emotional. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be upset. That's a human emotion. Those are human
sure.
emotions. But I just I, like my sons now, like I got them notebooks, right? So twice a week it's mandatory. I don't care what day they do it. Out of 7 days, 2 days out of 7 days, they have to journal.
Mm,
And I make them journal and I let them know this is your journal. I'm not going to read this. I just want you to put out on paper whatever thoughts you have in that day. It could be, I had a great day today, period.
right, right.
It could be that, you know what I mean? But like whatever it is that you go
Mm,
that week, I make them journal because if they don't talk about it now, it's just going to fester.
yeah,
And that knot is never going to go anywhere. And then you just sit with that, right? Like you just sit with that like forever and ever and ever. Then you grow up and you can't even deal with life. You can't deal with relationships. You don't have any conflict resolution training. Like none of the things that make us men, because multiple women don't make us men. Going out, spending a bunch of money, making money, that don't make us men.
mm,
Like what make us men is the impact we have on our families, on our children, in society, in our communities. Man, like those are the things that make us men. And truthfully speaking, like I said, and continuing in the spirit of transparency, I just started learning this like 2 years ago, bro. I just started practicing this 2 years ago. Like I have two therapists
mm,
that I talk to monthly. Like, and for so long, I was like, I don't, it's a macho thing. I don't need a
yeah. It's a
therapist.
stigma too in our community as well. Yeah, you
Yeah.
correct.
So once I started talking to like it's a man and a woman because I like to get perspective,
Yeah.
and
Mm,
I have those conversations with them twice a month, and I'm like, this is helping me now. Like I didn't realize this would help me because it's like financial situations, right? Financial conversations. Everyone is so afraid to have financial conversations because we're so afraid
Yeah, I feel that.
to tell people what we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I just told someone the other day, like not even not the other day. I'm sorry, it was probably 3 months ago. Like I didn't know, and I'm not ashamed to say it. Like I had no idea that I could do an LLC by myself.
Hmm.
Like I thought you need to hire a lawyer,
Yeah.
get all this paperwork together, pay all these fees. Like I didn't know that because I never started one before. So I started one, and like someone helped me kind of go through the whole thing online just by myself. Like, and I was like, man, like
Dope. That's dope.
how many people don't know this? And then the person that was helping me said, you'd be surprised at how many people are afraid to tell you they don't know it, and then they'll miss an opportunity. So I just stopped being afraid to tell people the things I don't know. Like,
Man, I guarantee you something here right now that I can do an LLC. You might inspire them to start the LLC right now. And that's just that communicating the
yeah,
knowledge.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's dope, man. That's dope. So long NBA career, like I said, you played in Beijing, Venezuela, but it was almost a catalyst for
Dr. Joy,
now.
that's my therapist. What's up, Dr. Joy? I see
What
you.
up, Doc?
That's my
Hey,
girl right there.
Doc, you bringing this guy into a whole he's seeing the light, man. He's seeing the light.
She the goat,
Uh,
man. She's the goat. I'm telling you, like
that's what's up.
it's so helpful. And to anyone who, I ain't mean to cut you off, my
No,
guy.
yeah, bro.
Anyone on this live or anyone that's listening, man, like that practice of that conversation, that therapeutic conversation, man, is so helpful. Like I
Yeah,
can't tell you how many, like the emotions that
yeah,
you endure when you go through it, and it's so freeing because you get off of it and you're done. And like I'll I'm like, all right, Dr. Joy. Like sometimes I'm like, all right, Dr. Joy, I gotta go because
right,
I gotta go.
right,
And
right.
it's like it's no pressure, right?
Yeah,
And it's you find yourself things coming up that, and you talking about that, like, man, like how long have I had that just sitting,
yeah,
right? Like, and it's so freeing because you just start feeling lighter and
yeah.
lighter, lighter. And then once the weights gets taken off, you start floating, bro, and then
Free.
start just walking right into your purpose.
No, for sure, for sure. And that's the main reason. So if anybody on this live, if you have not tried therapist mental health, every last Sunday of the month from 2 to 4, we have a virtual therapy session with 2 licensed therapists for Black men to just an introduction to therapy. And it's changed my life. I have a therapist. I've been through 4 therapists, but it has really changed
Yeah,
my life. So I appreciate your transparency on the mental health tip because in our community, it's more important now than ever. And we got to continue to have the conversation. So we let people know it's normal. Like, and not only is it normal, it helps.
yeah, nah, it's truly, man, like one of the most rewarding things that I've ever done in my life, and I will never Flip. Shout out to Flip. What's up, Flip? Um, I would never like not encourage anyone to do like I took my kids. I just it's the best thing, man. Like um, I don't know, like it's helped with my transition too because so often, right, with professional athletes, right, we leave the game, and a lot of times we have no idea where to go from there, right? And it
Mm-hmm.
weighs on you mentally,
Right.
and it just weighs on you mentally. Like you have nowhere to go for so long. You've been the man. You've been carrying your family. You've been doing everything, and now everyone looking at you like, all right, like
And what's next?
what's next? Like because
Right.
we still need, you know what I mean?
Right. But now that's a good segue. Now you've been able to transition. Now you're the dean of athletic culture at Overtime, bro. You're getting into the script because this is a great conversation, man.
Yeah,
So how are you able to transition from the NBA to now being the dean of athletic culture Overtime, which is one of my favorite, even our whole team, we love Overtime. We
yeah.
love Overtime. How was that transition from NBA to your new role now, and what exactly do you do over at
Well,
Overtime?
so to start from the beginning, I retired from playing in 2017. My last team was the Pacers. I left there the last game I played was in April. I
Mm.
started working for the Players Association as a retired basketball player in May.
Wow.
So like I didn't break any stride. Now, some people look at that and be like, well, man, that's a good and a bad thing, I guess, because you walk right into a great opportunity working for the Players Association. However, I didn't take any time off
Mm.
between like or reflect or take time to reflect back on my on my career like most people do when they retire, just kind of
Right.
like sit back and be like, man, like take a breather. I didn't do any of that. So I jumped right into the Players Association and I started working for them as a regional rep and I was over 6 teams that I had to see and talk to every day. NBA guys that, it's hard to get in touch with these guys. You got to teach, financial literacy, career development, relationship management, all type of things that I have to talk to with them about every day. So I did that for 4.5 years. Last month, uh, I was hired as the Dean of Athlete, Culture, and Experience for Overtime Elite. And Overtime Elite, and actually, like it wasn't even a lateral move. It was everything that I was doing with the PA in my wheelhouse with the PA,
Mm-hmm.
but also a vertical move because it was. I don't want to say this and be like make the Players Association seem like it was something that's below, but it was a
You're moving up.
yeah, like it was an upward move. So Overtime Elite is a platform now. It's like we're starting our own league.
Mm.
Have these kids coming out of high school between 16 to 18 and 19 years old that they're leaving high school after their freshman year, coming to Overtime Elite, taking accredited educational classes that can earn them a degree and diploma. Um,
Ah,
then they're getting paid a minimum around $300,000 a year that every year that they're there as sophomores in high school, pretty much.
wow.
And some people even making way more than that. Um, and then we're basically training them to be pros. So it's all day you're training to be pros, right? Like we have practice, we have class, they wake up, they go to class, then they leave class, they go to practice, and we have full-time chefs on deck. We got living quarters right behind the facility that's being built right now. They have 4-bedroom apartments, and it's like 2 or 3 guys per apartment.
Wow.
Um, Traveling, they're gonna play international teams. They're gonna play all over the place. We're building a almost 120 something thousand square foot facility right here in Atlanta at Atlantic Station that's
Mm.
probably going to be done the second week of September. And I'm like I said, I'm the Dean of Athlete Culture and Experience. So basically my job in a nutshell is full-time mentor. And on top of that, I'm over residential life. I'm over the player programming, things that we do. Also like, when you talk about, like my boss would say, you're in charge of getting their lives together.
Mm.
And that's basically what I'm in charge of. So it's
You
a huge role.
do a good job, man. You
Yeah,
do a good
it's
job.
a huge role. We've been extremely busy because it's a startup essentially. So we're backed by Drake and Jeff Bezos and a host of NBA guys who've invested in the company. So um, Dan Porter, our CEO,
That's
um,
right.
he's he's amazing, man. He's just a great leader, and he's just letting us all kind of bring our individual talents together as a staff and doing the best we can to push these kids to the finish line, man. And I'm thrilled, man, and super blessed to be a part of this platform, man. And the crazy thing about it is I always wanted to be a GM of an NBA team,
Mm.
and that's always been like one of my lifelong goals. I came on OTE. 3 weeks after I come on OTE, I get a call from the Pacers, ask me if I wanted to be a part of the director of player development,
Dang.
and I'm like, wow,
That's
like
God, bro.
timing, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Now I turned that opportunity down. I said, nah, I like professionally that wouldn't even look good on me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I wouldn't burn those bridges. I just started, and I know,
The impact you're gonna have, man,
yeah,
is
yeah.
like,
and And on top of that, like it let me know, it was just more confirmation that like I was on
Right path.
the right path. Like I'm literally walking in my purpose right now, and to have that opportunity, to have this opportunity, man, and to be able to share the things that I went through and to pass along the knowledge to these eager, young, hungry, talented young men, man, it's come on, man.
You
Well,
could. I feel like you got to write a book. Actually, you might can't write the book yet because your book is still being written. So someday soon, man, because this is definitely a story, man. We're delighted to have you, man. Delighted to hear your story. I'm just I have a whole new respect for just your journey, who you are, and what you will continue to be, man. I just appreciate your transparency. I appreciate what God is doing in your life.
yeah, man.
That's dope.
Big time. Um, you got to tell me more about you, though, bro. Like, this not just about me. Like, like, what made you start this platform? And what's the meat and potatoes behind all
So,
this?
all right. So the founders of Dear Fathers that started in 2019 is Jesse and Lamar. They're from St. Louis. I've been on Jesse and Lamar since grade school, right? And they started it because they grew up without a father in their lives. So they created the platform to tell stories of Black fatherhood. I joined last year. I have three children. Married, I have a kid, 15, 5, and 3. So the whole spectrum. And I do media. We have Books and Bourbon Book Club we do. I just am super passionate about being a father, and I light up when I talk about my kids too. And I'm just so much more aware of how important Dear Fathers is to the culture now, because we don't see this a lot, like the mental health stigmas,
Right.
education, reading, and just even these conversations between two Black men who have never met. And you my brother now, and I think this is in effect what the platform is. It's we're telling story. You told your story, and I just saw so many people in the chat were just that might have known you that were blown away by things that you said. So that's what Dear Fathers is. We tell stories of Black fatherhood. We got dads and deliveries. We are trying to kind of strategically tap into all the sectors that Black men need us. And in effect, if you heal the Black men, Black women, the kids, the whole family is whole, healed, and complete. And that's kind of what we about. And I'm enjoying doing this. I got into media about 2-3 years ago, and I fell in love with it. And especially when I talk to guys like you, it just kind of makes me feel like I'm walking in my purpose as well, man. So
Yeah, no, we need every bit of it, and there needs to be more conversation around how we can be as a community of Black men better fathers, stronger fathers. And then that also, I think, I'll be remiss without mentioning it, but there needs to be more conversation surrounding like how we can be better partners, and we can be better protectors. I have 3 sisters. I have a mom. They're all Black women.
yeah,
And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine not too long ago around Father's Day, and he was like, "Yeah, you notice how like we don't ever, the whole conversation
yeah,
like the Father's Day ain't as important as Mother's Day or whatever." And
mm-hmm.
I always just be like, man, I finally thought about it. I'm like, man, we ain't carried no kids.
Let me get I gotta get this cup quick. Because look, this is my cup. I have it, but look, stand with Black women. They got water. This is by my cup. It's supposed to be right here, but this is just an omen. Like Black
Yeah.
women are important, man. Like
We ain't carried no kids for 9-10 months, man. We hadn't laid down and had to get our stomachs cut open and all that stuff, man. Like at the end of the day, bro, like they deserve to be celebrated, man, and they deserve to be lifted up on our shoulders. But if our shoulders got to be strong, our shoulders got to be noble, and our shoulders got to be true, like, because we need each other. Like, that's what people that don't look like us fear.
Amen.
They fear the strength of the togetherness between the black man and the black woman and the black families. They fear that, man. Like, if we can do whatever we can to continue to bring that together, closer together, because this year alone, bro, like, I saw that gap
It
just
was tough. It was tough.
yeah, like, it was just widening. Every day there was some type of conversation surrounding you know, the black men versus black women, as
Right.
black men and black women. So I think we find our strength in black women, bro. Like, all in the relationships that I have been in, I learned something about myself. I learned something about a better way to be a better partner and a better dad.
Yes, sir.
And like, and in all those times, like, it was valuable. So, you either win or you learn, right? Like, that's just how it is. So, man, like, I love this. Like, I was
Yeah,
so
man.
looking forward to this because I
Me
just was
too, brother.
did the research on it. Like, I looked at the other fathers who have been up here. I looked at some of the things on the page, and I was like, oh, this is great. Like, this
Yeah.
is great. Like, this is what we need. We need more platforms to have conversations with each other as black men, so we can help each other, man. Like,
Yeah, man. So with that being said, however we gotta continue to work together, if we can do anything at overtime or vice versa, man. Have you back on the end, man. Let's continue to build that bond.
I want to do. I want to do that.
Before I let you go, though, you gotta play the Dear Father trivia game. You
All right,
ready?
let's
3
do it.
questions. Okay. If you're in the chat, you want to play along, feel free. But this is for you, my brother. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready to
All
go.
right. Name for me 3 cartoon dads. Go.
Cartoon dads.
Yep.
Uh, Yogi Bear,
Okay.
the Jetsons dad. I don't know his name.
Mr. Jetson.
Mr. Jetson. Homer Simpson.
Ding, 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 ding. All right. Name for me 2 brands of diapers.
Huggies and Pampers.
Ding, 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 ding. Last question. Hit show Family Matters, Carl Winslow, was from what U.S. city?
I don't know, but he looked like a Missouri guy.
Oh, I'm from. What does that mean? What's that? I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I don't know what that meant.
I got a lot of respect for St. Louis. I was just down there. Like,
Okay.
I like St. Louis.
All right, but close though. He from the it was in Chicago. So if you didn't know,
Midwest.
Chicago.
Midwest.
Midwest. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I appreciate you. I'm gonna give you that, man. You said Missouri. That hit me in the heart because I'm from man. I appreciate you, bro.
You don't like him? You don't like Eddie Winslow?
Yeah, I do.
I'm saying, I said Chicago. You said that hurt you?
No. You said he seemed like he's from the Midwest. I didn't know what. No, from Missouri. I know if you had something against Carl Winslow, like
I didn't mean
a cop. I don't know. We only like cop down that much, but I appreciate. I appreciate you, brother, man. I appreciate, man. We're gonna stay in touch, stay linked. However, we can continue to build our bond, man. Please let us know, man.
Nah, thank you, man. I appreciate everybody coming along and joining us too, man. Thank you,
man. I appreciate, man. We had people from Brazil. We had some of your old probably fans. We had people in here speaking Espanol. I didn't know what to say, but I appreciate you.
Your platform, bro. That's your platform, man.
Yes, sir.
Bro. Appreciate it.
Adios. All right, brother. Love you, brother.
I love you too, King.
Peace.